Let's go to page 191, start with number 1. Got x squared minus 9x plus 8. So go through the checklist. So step 1, common factor, nothing to factor. Step 2, 3 terms, check for perfect square. This is not a perfect square, so this is not it. Right? So step 3, cube, this is not a cube, so go step 4, master product. Okay? Okay, so you need to get the negative 9 and 8. Okay, this is from adding, this is multiplying, right? Okay, but to get, so you can start with 1, 8, but this will not give you negative, so you have to use both negative, right? So multiply, you get that, add, you get that, and that's it. Okay, so it would be minus 1, minus 8. Okay. Number 3, you get z squared minus 11z plus 18. So go through the steps. So this would be step 4. So it would be minus 11 and 18. So you can start with negative 1, negative 18, negative 2, negative 9. Okay, so you can just go to the list much quicker. So this is it, right? Okay, so z times z give you z squared. So you have to make sure you do the first term. Okay? Then after that, if there's no number, whatever you see is whatever you put down. So minus 2, minus 9. Okay, number 5, you got r squared plus 12r plus 20. Okay, so this is step 4. So you need to get 12 and 20. So you start with 1, comma, 20. Then you go 2, comma, 10, and this is it, right? 2 times 10 give you 20, 2 plus 10 give you 12. Okay, so it would be plus 2, plus 10. Okay, number 7, got p squared minus 8p plus 9. So you can go through the list. So this is step 4. So it'd be negative 8 and 9. Okay, so start with negative 1, comma, negative 9, negative 3, and that's it. None of this going to work. Okay, so none of this match means this is not factorable. So this is a prime. And that's why it's so important to go down the list. That way you know that you didn't miss anything. And if none of this match, then it's not factorable, then it's prime. Okay, so you got s squared minus 20s plus 36. So you can go through the steps. Okay, so you can start with 1. So negative 1, negative 36. Right? You have to use negative 2 to get to the negative. Negative 2, negative 18. And that's it, right? This times that give you that, this add give you that. Okay, so you're going to get s and s, so it'll be minus 2, minus 18. Okay, number 11, you got x squared plus x minus 12. Okay, okay, so you can go and get your, so this would be 1, this would be minus 12. Okay, so now with the negative, you don't have to worry about, you have to use positive and negative. You just start with 1, comma, negative 12, okay, then 2, comma, negative 6, 3, comma, negative 4. Now when over here you get, when you add, you get negative 1, so you know that you just have to switch the sign, so it would be 4, comma, negative 3. So this is the one, right? You can multiply, get that, you add, you get that. Okay, so you're going to get plus 4 minus 3. Okay, next one, number 13, you have t squared minus 2t minus 35. Okay, so you can go through the list. So this would be negative 2. So this would be step 4, right? Okay, so again, you start with 1, comma, negative 35. 2 cannot. So 3, 4, 5, 5, comma, negative 7. And that's it. So you can just go down to this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, you can get it pretty quick. Okay, so again, you're going to get plus 5 minus 7, right? 5 minus 7, and that's it. So again, it's very quick. Okay, so number 15, you got 3z squared plus 4z plus 1. Okay, so there'd be 4. Now you have to be careful now. When there's a number in front, it complicates everything. Okay, so this is called a master product. You have to multiply this together. Before we don't do that because this is a 1, right? So 1 times, so when you multiply, you're still going to get the same number. But right now there's a number in front. So you have to multiply, we get 3. Okay? And so now when you're doing your combination, you're going to get 1 comma 3, and this is it, right? Now you have to be very careful. Okay? So you have to break down the first term. So to get that, you need to get z and 3z. Okay? So z times 3z will give you 3z squared. But now you cannot just put this number in here because there's a number in here. You cannot just put this in here. Okay? So you have to figure out, okay, now you have to do the inside first. Okay? So you have to figure out, okay, 3 times what will give you one of this number. Okay? Well, you have to be this one, right? 3 times something cannot equal to 1. So this has to be the inside. Okay, so 3 times 1, right? 3 times 1 give you 3, and this will be the outside. Okay, so this will be the outside. So 1 times 1 will give you what? Right? So inside, right? 3 times 1 give you 3. 1 times 1 give you 1. So you notice you cannot just put 1 and 3 in here, right? It's 1 and 1. Okay? And so that would be your answer. Okay, next one. You have 8 plus 2s minus s squared. Okay, now notice the variable is in the end, so you probably want to do is you want to go and switch, okay? Put in the correct order. Next thing is you don't want to factor with a negative in front, so go and factor the negative 1, so you get s squared minus 2s minus 8. So double check, double check, double check. Okay, so now you go through the steps, so it'd be step 4. So it'd be minus 2 minus 8, right? Okay, so 1 comma negative 8, 2 comma negative 4, and this is it, right? So you're going to get negative 1. Okay. So now there's no number, so whatever you see, you put in here, right? It would be plus 2 minus 4. Okay? But next thing what you want to do, you want to go ahead and multiply this in here. So this times this will give you, remember, negative is used to switch the subtraction, right? So it becomes 4 minus s. You can check, right? Negative times s give you negative s. Negative 1 times negative 4 give you plus 4, right? Now, since you put an s in the back, I'm going to switch these. Now, addition is commutative, so you can just go and switch, right? So addition, you can just switch, and so this would be your answer. Okay, number 19, the x squared minus xy minus 30y squared. Okay, so you can go through the steps. So this is step 4. So it'd be negative 1, negative 30. Okay, and so you need to get 1 comma negative 30, 2 comma negative 15, 3 comma negative 10, 4 cannot, 5, negative 6, and this is it, right? Multiply, get that, you add, you get that. Okay, so again, first you have to break down the first term. So there's a variable in the front, so you're going to get variable in the front. And there's no number in here, you can just put this over here, so it'd be plus 5 minus 6, right? But notice there's a variable y in the back. So when there's a variable y in the back, you need to have variable y in the back, okay? So that's how you get a y squared. So if the variable is in the front, you're going to get variable in the front. If there's a variable in the back, you're going to get variable in the back, okay? And that's it. Okay, next one, you got u squared minus 8uv minus 12v squared. Okay, so you can go to the list. So this is step 4. So 1 comma negative 12, 2 comma negative 6. So you have to keep track of your sign, okay? And 3 comma negative 4. And after that, that's nothing it's going to match, okay? So none of this is going to give you negative 8. So this is prime. It's not factorable. You cannot do anything. So again, as you go through the list, if none of this is going to match, then it's prime. It's not factorable. You got 2t squared plus 5t minus 3. Okay, so again, go through the list. So this is step 4. So it'd be 5. Now remember, if there's a number in front, you have to multiply, right? So this gives you negative 6. Okay, 2 times negative 3 give you negative 6. Okay, so you start with 1 comma negative 6. Now when you get over here, you know that you're going to get negative 5, right? So you have to switch the sign. So you have to use 6, negative 1, right? Again, so you have to kind of look at what you're getting, okay? So this is going to give you negative 5, but this is positive 5. So it means everything's out to be opposite. Okay, so again, now you're going to break it down. So you have to do the first term, so it'd be t and 2t. Make sure you get this correct. You need to multiply to get that. So a lot of people miss the t, they just put a t and that would be incorrect. Okay, so now you have to do the inside. So which one is multiple of 2? This is a multiple of 2, so this has to be the inside, right? So you have to multiply, so this would be plus 3, right? 2 times 3 give you 6, and this is the outside, so it would be minus 1, right? 1 times minus 1 give you minus 1. So again, that's your inside. You have to multiply to get that, multiply to get that, okay? And that's your answer for number 23. Okay, 25. You got 3p squared minus 7p minus 6. Okay, so again, go through the steps. So it would be minus 7. Now this would be minus 18. Okay, so remember that you have to multiply this together. Yeah, that's why it's called a massive product. You have to multiply. Okay, so you're going to get 1 comma negative 18, 2 comma negative 9, and this is it, right? 2 times negative 9 give you negative 18. 2 plus negative 9 give you negative 7. Okay, so break down the p and 3p. You always do the higher number first. Okay, so you have to look which is a multiple of 3. This one, right? This is the only one that's multiple of 3, so this has to be the inside. So you have to go negative 3. So 3 times negative 3 give you negative 9. So you can multiply, you get that. This one, you have to do plus 2. 1 times 2 give you 2. This is the outside. Okay, so you can multiply to get that, multiply to get that. So don't just put a 9 in here, okay? And that's it. In number 27, you got 6x squared minus 7xy minus 3y squared. So you can go through the steps. So this is step 4. So it would be negative 7, and this would be negative 18. Right? Again, you have to multiply. And so start with 1, negative 18, 2, comma, negative 9, and that's it. Okay? Okay, so you're going to do the x and 6x. You always start with the lowest and the highest. Now, if you look, none of this is multiple of 6. 6 times something is not going to equal to that. So this is no good. So you have to go to the next option. So you have to do 2 and 3. Okay? So again, you first have to break this. Find a way to get that, right? So start with the lowest and the highest. If none of this is going to work, you try that. So now this is going to work, right? This is the multiple of 3, so this has to be the inside. So it would be minus 3, right? 3 times negative 3 give you negative 9. And this would be outside, so it would be plus 1, right? So you can multiply, you get that. Multiply, you get that. So inside, outside. Okay. Okay, next one is 2h squared plus 7hk minus 15k squared. Okay, so you can just go through the list. So step 4, so it would be 7, and this would be negative 30. So remember to multiply these numbers. Okay, so start with 1 comma negative 30, 2 comma negative 15, 3 comma negative 10. So when over here you see you're going to get negative 7. So number is correct, but sign is wrong. So all you have to do is just go 10, negative 3. Okay, so you have to kind of look at the number. Don't just go blindly. Okay. Okay, so you're going to get h and 2h, right? So you have to break these things down. So h times 2h give you 2h squared. Okay, so you have to look, okay, which one is the multiple of 2? This one, right? So this has to be the inside. Okay, so it would be plus 5, because 2 times 5 will give you 10, right? Multiply, so this is inside, this is outside, so you have to minus 3. 1 times negative 3 give you minus 3. Okay, but you're not done, because there's a variable in the back, so you have to put a variable on the back. So there's a variable in the end, there would be a variable in the end. There's a variable in the front, there would be a variable in the front. Okay.